Hi team, I hope you're all well. Today we are starting the final book support group. I was just going to do this over a couple of days. I have decided to do it over 5 instead, Monday to Friday. My weekend is pretty stacked, so I'm just going to end it on Friday and the video can go up on Sunday. But I'm doing this with a couple of twists on it. I'm going to try and get through this intro as quick as I possibly can because I have somebody coming around to look at a couple of cracks in the wall. And I don't know when he's getting here, but he said anytime around lunch, and it's currently 4 minutes to midday. So lunchtime for me is anywhere between 11:30 and like 2 o'clock. So, it could be any time. So, final book support group. I am looking to finish a bunch of series this week, if at all possible. And I have a stack right next to me of a bunch of final books that I am at that point in the series. Now, to make this a little fun for myself, because I am out here struggling like you would not believe. You probably do believe, actually. There's been a couple of vlogs on it at least. To make this a bit fun for myself, I've made the decision to do a couple of different things. Now, we're going to see if this works, because last time I tried to do 2 different things, which was a spinner wheel and timer, I forgot the timer. I could only cope with one. We're going to try again with the spinner wheel and the timer. So the spinner wheel has all the last books in series that I currently have on the spinner, excluding Empire of the Dawn, because I feel like that would be a really big mistake right now and will ruin the book, the series, my life. So we're not doing that, but anything else is fair game, and it's final books only. Now, what's going to happen is I am going to spin the wheel, and if when the book comes up, my immediate reaction is negative, I'm unhauling it. That is it. I'm unhauling the series. We'll spin again until we find a book that I go, oh, yay. Okay? That's what we're doing. So, first of all, we're rapid unhauling books based on the spinner. Anybody else ever been like, this is a great idea, let's put a bunch of books on a spinner wheel, and then you do the spinner wheel, the first book that comes up, you immediately go, what the fuck, why is that on there? You immediately regret doing it. That's what we're doing. But we're going to continue to do it until I spin and find something I want to read. And anything I don't want to read gets unhauled. The whole series can go. So there is a mix of series on here that I'm excited to keep. For example, this series, I only have the final book left. You will notice it's not there. It is in my stack. And I'm excited to read this. There is, for example, The Last Rainbow Grey that I'm not particularly excited to read, but I'm thinking of just doing it anyway so that I can get the series boxed off. They're not being unhauled per se, they're going to go in the box that is underneath my bed that I'm storing books in for Thomas and Lucas when they're of age to be able to read them. So there's a mix of series in here. Do you know what I mean? There's some manga, there's some shorter books, there's some longer books, nothing as long as Empire of the Dawn, nothing that will take that much brain capacity from me. So we're going to see how this goes. Empire of the Dawn is in that stack, but it's not on the spinner wheel. The second thing that I'm doing is we're going to have a quick look right now on my digital well-being on my phone. I have been spending a lot of time on my phone, and I feel like I need to put a timer on this challenge. So instead of doing daily, like having a look at what my socials are daily, because I did socials last time, we're going to look at the week overall last week and see how much time I spent on socials specifically last week. And we're going to put that into a timer, and that's how long I'm going to read for this week. So the minute that time is over, that's it. The vlog is done. But I am working today for my dad. I'm working tomorrow for my dad. So I've got some time to read this evening, some time tomorrow evening, and then I've got Wednesday, Thursday, Friday at home free to read. I've also got quite a bit of filming to do. So I'm currently on the dashboard. Okay, there we go. Okay, I'm on socials. So we want the weekly view, okay, for the week to know how much on week 3 we need of the year. So I'm going to screenshot that, post it on screen for you. 21 hours, 12 minutes. 8 hours and 31 minutes of that has been on TikTok. That is shocking. An average of 3.5 hours and 3 hours and 1 minute a day. That's shocking. Saturdays is terrifying. 4.5 hours. Oh, shocking. Right. Anyway, so 21 hours and 12 minutes will go on the timer, and we're going to be using the spinner wheel to find out what it is exactly I'm reading. So shuffle that a couple of times, and then let's whack the screen record on. Okay, start screen record. All right, let's do our first spin. I'm nervous. I don't think I can look. Oh, wildcard. Exciting. Okay, first one, wildcard. That is a winner. I can do that. No, I'm happy about that. That's exciting. Okay, see, this is the reaction you want out of me. If I immediately go, oh, it's got to go. That cannot happen. Okay, I'm not even mad that it's not even a small book either. This is a series I will be keeping on my shelves, but this is the final one in the Rose Hill series. So it's not a shorty patooty by any stretch of the imagination, but I do the audiobooks for these and I can potter while doing this, which is great. 441 pages. So Sebastian Rusero, don't know, is a grumpy, hot as hell fire pilot who is too damn good with his hands. It's the perfect combination. But unfortunately for me, he's also my ex-boyfriend's dad. Oh. A chance meeting brought us together and a misconnection has kept us apart. 1 year later, a stroke of fate has us living under the same roof, which means everything between us is downright messy. Because even after all this time, he's still the man I think about when I fall asleep, the one I can't get over no matter how hard I try. He's working on mending a fragile relationship with his son, and we both know acting on these urges would be the ultimate betrayal. But I see the heat in his eyes, that look of need that never fails to send shivers down my spine. The mutual longing is borderline unbearable, and the simmering heat between us is downright palpable. We both know there are rules when it comes to situations like this, but then again, following the rules never been my strong suit. This is giving me, is it Birthday Girl vibes by Penelope Douglas? Where she's living with her ex-boyfriend's dad. I'm here for it. These are all single dad romances, but they've all been like single dads of younger kids. So of like babies or like, toddlers or even like kids under, the age of like 15. Whereas this one seems to be more adult. So she, by the sounds of things, there's going to be like an age gap, I reckon, but I'm here for it. I'm excited for this one. This is great. What a good start to this video. I'm excited. So I need to get going. I've still got some work to do. And then Derek is coming around to sort some stuff out on the house. So I need to deal with all of that as well. And then hopefully later on, I've got some sprints starting at 4:30, but hopefully later on I can get started on this. I'm excited. This is great. What a good idea. This has helped. This has been like assistance of patrons suggested the spinner wheel. I undenied about the spinner wheel because of that situation. And I said, okay, well, I'll try the spinner wheel. But if I don't like the first book that comes up, I'll just stop and I'll restart the video without the spinner wheel. And then Jade said, no. She suggested then, because I was on with her last night on sprints, she said, keep it in. And if you don't like the book that immediately comes up, your immediate reaction is, oh, I don't want to read that. Unhaul it. Be done with it. Move on. Spin again. So this is great. I'm excited to have started with on a positive note. And I think that this could be a good one to read. So, this is the most excited I've felt about reading for a little while. After saying that, Winterween was fantastic and I had a great time, but nothing ended up rated more than like 3.5 stars, 3.75 stars. So I'm hopeful that we'll get some better ratings and this will pick me up a little bit. I desperately need it. And I'm hoping that the time will help me stay focused as well. So let's get going. Let me get on with the rest of my day and then I can pick this up later on when I do sprints for Final Book Support Group. Let's go. Okay, I've finished work. It is 10 to 3 and I was up really early this morning. I was sat at this desk at 7, so and Derek has gone, so all the drilling has stopped. I just need to move this because I can't hear myself, so I don't know if I'm quiet or not. My apologies. If you can hear any blowing, it's that thing blowing hot air around the room. Anyway, I'm ready to go. I'm ready to get some reading done, so I'm going to be listening to A Wild Card by Elsie Silver while I get just a little bit of housework done and just tidy up around the house. So let's do that. Hopefully you can still hear me. Let's start this timer. 21 hours 12 minutes and let's start my audiobook. Hello, team. If you can hear thudding, it's Andy playing darts in the next room. It's significantly... Actually, I need to pause that. Significantly later in the day. What time is it? 5. I may be 36 years old, but I cannot tell the time on a 24-hour clock. I don't know what to tell you. It says 17:22. It's 5:22, not 7:22. This is an issue I have, okay? I had to change the time on my phone. I've clearly not changed it on the tablet, so I need to do that. I also need to change it on the computer. Anyway, 5:20, and I am making good progress. I'm 132 pages into Wildcard. Why did I not think about picking this book up sooner while I've been struggling with my slump? I fucking love it when there's an older person in a book that's disturbing everybody's shit and sticking the nose where it's not wanted, winding everybody up, while in the process getting the love interests together. I just love it. I love it. We've got Clyde in here, who Bash is looking after. He's an older gentleman in town. Basically, Bash and Gwen are our MMC and FMC, respectively. They meet at the airport, and they're all flights at the airport are cancelled because of the weather. So they end up having like a night together in the airport, not of passion or anything, just fucking around and being children. And then a year goes by. Bash takes Gwen's number. He's been texting her, but no reply. A year goes by. He goes to his son's birthday party, and who is there but Gwen as his son's girlfriend. Now, they weren't together at the time when they met a year ago. She'd held out for a while waiting to hear from him. Something happened in which she didn't get the texts, and now we're in a situation where she's now in town, and she's a yoga instructor, and she's doing yoga with Clyde, an older gentleman in town that Bash looks after. Now, I think Clyde has been purposely going to Gwen for yoga because it means that Bash will pick him up from there and will be forced to speak to Gwen. Now we're in a situation where Clyde is moving in at Bash's for a reason. Gwen is also moving in. And it's just going to be so fun. And this is all Clyde's fault. Not the meet cute originally, but everything that's happening now, all Clyde's fault. And I love it. I just love it when you get the meddling older person or older couple in a book like this, a romance book. I loved it in the Chestnut Springs series. I'm fairly certain there was a meddling older person in that series. And I'm fairly certain there was one in the Sugarland Creek series as well. It seems to be the cowboy romances that there's a meddling older person, and I just love it. I think it's great. It makes my heart really happy. I've just been chuckling my little head off. So I'm having a great time. I'm up to chapter 14 so far. And this was a great shout. This could end up being 5-star just alone on the fact that it's the right book, the right time. Anyway, I'm doing sprints. I've got 19 hours and 41 minutes left on the clock, and I have 3 hours left on this audio. 3 hours, 18 minutes left on this audio. It seemed to be going quite fast to begin with, but now I feel like the timer's going down, but oh no, maybe not. It's because I'm convinced myself it's a 24-hour timer, and it's not. It was a 21-hour, 12-minute timer. So not that much time has passed. Anyway, I'm going to continue on with this, having a fantastic time. It's going really well. Just wanted to come in and update you on how it's going. Oh, I also forgot that I didn't show you what was in the list, what was in the pile of books, the stack of books as options. So I'm just going to do a little montage right now, showing you very quickly what's in the stacks and options for Final Book Support Group this week, just so you can see what the options are. Anyway, bye.
I was quietly protective of my heart to reassure that I couldn't break to pieces and be left alone once more. If you hadn't been so patient, you'd be easy to ignore. You put up with all my till you didn't anymore. And now I stand here calling at your door. Oh, now I stand here calling at your door. Yeah, I'm yours anywhere you want.
Good morning. It is Tuesday. I'm looking a little rough today because I'm feeling it. Yesterday I started with a snuffly nose and I don't know where it's come from at all. Actually, now that I'm thinking about it, Lucas had a runny nose. I do know where it's come from. Anyway, I am feeling terrible today. I've just taken a couple Sudafed. It's later on in the day than I would have liked to get up. It's like 9:30, so in the morning. But I'm working for my dad today, so I would have liked to have gotten up yesterday at a similar time and, you know, been sat here working from 7 so that I could finish earlier again today and maybe finish another book, because I finished Wildcard yesterday by Elsie Silver. I thoroughly enjoyed this. I had such a fantastic time. I think that this has ended up being the right book at the right time. I have been struggling so hard. My patrons know how bad I've been struggling. But if you've seen any of my videos since probably Vlogmas and any of my vlog videos since like Vlogmas, you'll know, actually probably since the Goodreads Choice Awards video back at the beginning of December, not all the way through December, the first couple of weeks I was fine, but from like midway point of December onwards, I've been struggling with my reading. I've been picking stuff up, for the most part it's been manga, but the ratings have not been very good at all. So I did the reread of Beach Read, which was 5 stars. My first 5-star of the year, but not my first official 5-star of the year because it was a reread, so you know, it was to be expected. But this, 5 stars. I think it's come at the right time. It was the right book, right time. I think I would have really enjoyed this anyway, even if I wasn't in a slump. But I was just really excited when it came up on the spinner wheel. I was excited to read it. Then I started reading it. I was still excited. I was excited when I got to the end. Like, I just had a blast with this book. And there's one whole extra star in here for Crazy Clyde. That man has made this story. I absolutely love him. He's fantastic, and I love that we got so much of him in here as well. I just love the way Elsie writes her characters, the way that they communicate with each other. Like Gwen, the way that she communicates with Bash so openly, even if, you know, like she's joking, or even if she is trying to hide away from her emotions a little bit, the way that she so openly communicates with people is fantastic, and I absolutely love it. And I think it's come from the trauma of growing up with a dad who just didn't appreciate who she was as a person, and, you know, all of that stuff as well. There is some, I will say, there is some like weight shaming in this book, like mentioned, so just be wary of that going in. There is a warning section at the beginning from Elsie, so, but I loved this. I related to Gwen so much on so many different levels, and I absolutely loved who the person who she was. And then Bash as well, going through his own shit as well. He's had this secret kept from him for so long, and he's trying to work through that, but also work through his emotions with Gwen and try and deal with Clyde and what's going on with that situation. He's just got so much on his plate, and he's got many plates spinning, and he's trying to keep them all going. So I just really loved it. I love the way that they communicated, and I just loved everything about this. I'm glad that we did get some of the firefighting part of it in here as well. It wasn't the main focus of the book, and there wasn't loads of it, but we did get some of it, and I really enjoyed that. So had a fantastic time with this. 5 stars, amazing, love that for me. So my tablets in the bedroom, I think I've got like 16 hours something left, I'm not sure, but we're gonna spin for the next book. So let's screen record and see what we get, shall we? I'm nervous again. Spinner always makes me so nervous. Okay, what do we get? Oh, Sweet Heat by Bolu Babalola. Okay, this is on my Kindle, so this doesn't really take a book off of my shelf, but I recently read, towards the back end of last year, I read Honey and Spice and really enjoyed it. And this one is following the same set of characters on from that. I don't actually think that I can read the synopsis out to you because I think that it could spoil the first book. This is a chunky one, for nearly 500 pages. Yeah, so in the first one, in Honey and Spice, we're following Kiki and Malachi. She has a podcast that essentially helps women with advice with men and dating and things like that. And then Malachi's like the new guy at school, and everybody's obsessed with him, and all the girls want to date him, and they're ready to throw all of this advice out of the window for him. However, Kiki has caught Malachi's eye, so he then realizes, like, you know, that she does this podcast and stuff, and she's essentially said that he's like the new playboy in town, stay away from him, etc, etc. But it's kind of come off because they're then seen chatting at a party, and I think they kind of pretend that they're dating to get someone else off her back. It's then seen that she's trying to keep all the other girls away from him because she's interested in him, and it just becomes this little bit of like a thing, and then they end up then pretending to date on that basis. But it kind of becomes something more. And now this follows them 3 years after uni, I think. So something has happened. They're now going to a wedding and they're meeting again for the first time 3 years later or something. I don't know. So I'm intrigued. I'm excited. It's got a wedding in it. Yay. Love that for me. So yeah, I'm excited. I really, really enjoyed Honey and Spice. I think I gave it 4.5 stars. So yeah, we've gone from a 5-star over to another book that I am excited for. It's not one that I physically own. I did actually, Honey and Spice went into the unhaul I did the other day, spoiler alert, because I didn't need to keep the book. It was just, I've read it. I'm not going to reread it. It was taking up shelf space because it was a chunky book as well. So yeah, this will be a good one. I don't know how long the audiobook is on this one though, because I liked the audiobook from the first one. Ooh, 13 hours and 56 minutes. That is a chunker. I was kind of hoping for like a manga. Maybe what I might do in the middle is take the manga off my spinner and just read that manga in between. So I'm getting through some of those as well. Because I found a Business Proposal Volume 10 the other night. Last night. I didn't realise I even had that. And I didn't realise it was the last one. So I've got that I can read. I've got Cat and Gamer Volume 8, which is the last one in that series. And then I have all of A Silent Voice that I can read as well, make my way through, finish that series and get that off of my shelves, because I've read the first 2 or 3 volumes. There's like 7 in total, so I can read those as well. So maybe I might dip in and out of my manga as we're going throughout the week and just take those off the spinner so that I can do those on top. Maybe that would be fun. It would take time off of my timer though. I don't know. We'll see what happens here. Or maybe I just collect them, because maybe, I don't know how much time this will actually take, but maybe I just collect them for at the end, you know, in case there's like an hour left at the end, I can read a manga at the end rather than starting a new book or wasting the hour. Anyway, I'm gonna go. I need to get on with my day, but I will be starting Sweet Heat by Bolu Babalola. Exciting. It's 3:20 on Tuesday. I've finished work. I've just edited the video for tomorrow, and now we're going to settle in and get back to reading. I'm going to make my D10 die for Polathon, which I'm excited about. And we have 16 hours, I don't know if you can see that, that's a really weird way of holding, 16 hours and 7 minutes left on the timer, so I'm going to get started with the audiobook for Sweet Heat. So let's get that up.
That's what she said.
Let's get the audiobook up. So let's get started, shall we? Hellos. God, face looks a bit puffy. I don't know if I'm making that up or not. Maybe it's just the shadows in the room. Because it's much later in the day. It's 10:15 p.m. And I have done a bit of reading. Not a great deal. Actually, I've done all right, to be fair. I've done just shy of an hour, maybe. I can't remember what we were on when we started the day. 15 hours and 10 minutes left. But I have made it to page 88, 19% in, to Sweet Heat by Bolu Babalola, and I've got to be honest, I'm not having a good time with this one. The thing that's bothering me, I can only say so much because it's gonna spoil the first book, but the thing that bothers me with this a little bit, and it did bug me a little bit with Honey and Spice, but maybe it's because I was distracting myself with colouring at the same time, or maybe it's just more in this book. I don't know what it is. I enjoyed Honey and Spice. This one I'm really struggling with. Her inner monologue just keeps going and going and going and going and going. And the audiobook, I'm struggling to differentiate between her actually saying something out loud and her inner monologue, because she just never stops. Like, there are the longest paragraphs I've ever seen in my life in this book. I did have to start following along with the Kindle edition because I just couldn't keep up with when she was speaking out loud and when she was talking to herself in her head. But it was just constant reams and reams and reams and reams of inner monologue, and I just couldn't deal with it. I think the other thing as well is the length of the chapters. I am only on chapter 4, 88 pages in. Chapter 4. The first chapter on audiobook was like an hour and something. An hour and 20 minutes maybe on audio. The next chapter is over an hour as well, I think, which is why I kind of stopped at that point earlier on this afternoon, and I've just not been able to bring myself to go back to it because the audio is taking forever. I am not a fan of long chapters. Oh, this current chapter that we're about to go into is 50 minutes long. The next one is almost a half hour, and the next one after that is over an hour long. Why are the chapters so long? And the other thing as well that I can't remember if it was the case in Honey and Spice or not, if we just got Kiki's POV or whether we got Malachi's as well. I think we only got Kiki's. But she was at uni and she was like finding her feet with multiple things, these friends, the podcast with Malachi. Do you know what I mean? Like there was multiple things going on. Whereas in this one, it's this relationship. And I just get the feeling we're going to linger with this relationship for a period of time before we even get to the point that she sees Malachi again. And then it's all, this is going to happen, whatever it is that's going to happen with Malachi. And then we've got the best friend's wedding, the best friend from uni in the first book. And I don't know. The inner monologue is doing my head in. If this was multiple POV, I think it would be a lot easier to get through. I would love to be getting Malachi's POV right now and his thoughts on seeing Kiki again. And that would be great. That would be so interesting. But just getting Kiki's POV and her internal monologue is driving me nuts. How did I not feel this way in Honey and Spice? Was it because I was multitasking and I was colouring, so it was just good to have something on in the background? Is that the reason why? I don't know what's going on here. If anyone has the answer to this question, can you please let me know? Have you read Sweet Heat and didn't like it, but you loved Honey and Spice? I wouldn't say I loved Honey and Spice. I really enjoyed myself. It was a very good book, but I gave it 4 stars, I think. So it's really weird to get to a point now where I'm actually gonna DNF what's it called? Sweet Heat. Just don't care enough to continue, in all honesty, because I still have like the thought of continuing on for 4.5 more hours of this stream of consciousness. I can't do it. I don't care enough. And I'm really annoyed because I've actually used a credit. Is it called a credit? I've actually used an unlock on Everend for this. I really need to be using up my hours on Spotify for testing books first. The thing is, I went into this thinking it's the second in a series. I'm familiar with the characters. This is going to be fine. So I didn't feel like I was risking the unlock. Turns out I fucking have. So anyway, didn't see that coming. So we're here to do another spin. Did I come back to you with my ice skating sweater on this afternoon? I can't remember. I changed today because this morning when I did my first spin, I think I was in this. Yeah, I was. And then my dad called round with my brother to check on some cracking in the house. We're having some problems in the house. So to check on some cracking in the house. Turns out everything is okay. It's just some general cracking because the house is old. And then we nipped across the road for some lunch. So we had a little bit of like a business lunch. And then, so I changed my sweater because I was in this, which is fine for lounging around the house, but I'm not going out. Andy's watching Supernatural. So I've just naturally wanted to put my Supernatural sweater on today. Comfort, you know? So I changed into my ice skating sweater jumper, but I can't remember if I came to give you an update. So I just wanted to let you know it is still Tuesday. Is it still Tuesday? What day is today? It is still Tuesday, the 20th of Jan. Anyway, you guys don't care how many times a day I change. You just don't care. Let's do another spin, and I need to screen record. Start recording. Okay. Let's see if we get something I'm excited about. I am a little bit nervous. I've got Silver and Smoke on there and I do want to read it, but I really don't want a long book right now. So if that comes up, I may just veto that for the time being. I do want to read it. I'm not on haul in the series. But I may just veto it for the time being because I don't want to read that right now. It's a chunky-ish book. So, we might put that on the back burner, but it's not an unhaul. So let's see what we get. I'm nervous. Oh, Daydream by Hannah Grace. Okay, all right. It's probably about time I did this one. Let me get it. This is the fancy edition. I got the fancy editions of Icebreaker and Wildfire. And I've got to be honest, I gave Icebreaker 4 stars. I think I gave Wildfire 3. And I've been nervous about continuing on with this series because it's been fine, but I've just not really cared for it too much. It's not even really been a palate cleanser for me. I couldn't tell you Other than Icebreaker being about ice hockey, I couldn't really tell you anything else about the other two. However, I have been told that I will love this one because it's got, I think, ADHD representation in it, at least neurodivergent rep in it to some extent. But I'm fairly certain it's ADHD rep, and I'm always looking for more books with ADHD representation in them. So I have heard good things. We'll have to see whether or not I like it. This will be one, if the audiobook isn't on BookBeat, this will be one that I will have a look on Spotify first before I risk a credit on this. When his procrastination lands him in a difficult class with his least favourite professor, Henry Turner knows he's going to have to work extra hard to survive his junior year of college. And now with his new role as captain of the hockey team, Henry absolutely cannot fail. Enter Hallie Jacobs, a fellow junior whom Henry befriends when he accidentally crashes her book club. Hallie may not have the romantic pursuits of her favourite fictional leads or the expertise for the novel she's trying to write, but she's an academic superstar, and as soon as she hears about Henry's problems with his classes, she offers to help. She knows that new experiences are the key to beating her self-doubt, and Henry's promising to be the one to give them to her. They just need to stick to their rule book, where item 4 reads "Don't fall in love." It's giving Naily. Excuse you. Grow up. It's giving Naily. It's giving The Deal by Elle Kennedy. I always compare those two, to be fair. Maybe a little bit of Night Shift by Annie Crown. So, I don't know. This could be positive. I am very much so willing to keep this one and unhaul the other two if this becomes a new favourite of mine. But otherwise, I am also very willing to let go of these. Despite how pretty they are, very happy to let them go. So this is definitely one of the series that was going to be on the spinner for letting it go once I've finished the series. So we will see how this goes. But yeah, we're going to give Daydream a go. I'm quite happy with the fact that so far, the books that have come up, I mean, my immediate reaction wasn't, yay, with this, but I'm willing to give it a go at least. So I'm definitely looking at the stack, and there is definitely, I know it's as simple as me just right now being like, okay, we're just going to take those off the shelves and that is it. We'll not discuss it again. But I feel like they need to at least be given a chance because my mood tomorrow could be different. But I'm definitely looking at a couple of books in that stack thinking, there's no fucking point. They might as well go. I don't know. We'll see when we cross that bridge, if the bridge ends up being crossed. But tomorrow I don't have anything to do whatsoever. Actually, I'm lying. I could do with doing some filming. That's not going to happen though because Derek, our handyman, is calling back round tomorrow. On Monday, he came to take some bricks out of the wall to have a look-see in with the cracking to see if he could see a lintel in there and make sure that everything was okay with the lintel. My dad's called today to have another look at the lintel. Derek said everything's fine, but my dad just wanted to look anyway to rest. W's and R's, I struggle so hard to rest his weary mind. My dad's an engineer, a structural engineer, if you didn't know. So, you know, this is literally his job. He's had a look today. He's absolutely fine with it. So the bricks need to go back in. So Derek's coming back tomorrow to do that. I don't think it will be as loud as it was on Monday when he was taking the bricks out. But therefore, I don't think I'll be able to do any filming tomorrow. However, if I do get the opportunity to do so, I will probably film my library reshuffle and listen to the audiobook of this. So you've got that to come. Spoiler alert. So yeah, because I can put the headphones on and reshuffle. I just need to film the intro of the video. So yeah, probably what I'll do tomorrow. And regardless of whether or not I do the actual filming portion, I will be reading this tomorrow. That is my plan, Jan. I don't even have work at the pub tomorrow. So yeah, the whole day at home. I do need to nip out and get some stamps though, so I can get rid of the rest of these invitations because I ran out of stamps the other day, which is just amazing. So I'm going to go make a start on this, I think. Let's see how this one goes. Good morning. My mic's dying, so I need to plug this in. It is 10:20. I'm just coming on to give you a quick update, let you know that I did start Daydream last night and I am going to be continuing on with it today. So far, I am really enjoying it. We have 14 hours and 21 minutes left on the clock, so I've got a good amount of time left on the clock. I am waiting for Derek to come back today and put the bricks back in the house, but I'm actually not sure what time he's supposed to be coming, so I'm just kind of waiting for him to turn up, which is frustrating. I'm kind of on pause mode. Don't want to put my headphones on, listen to my audiobook and sort this library out in case I miss him knocking on or whatever. So again, he could knock on while I'm filming, which would be really awkward. But I have started Daydream. I am currently 47 pages in. I didn't make too much progress. I'm listening to it on BookBeat and it's on 2 times speed. I'm just kind of refusing to, I could listen to it on 2.5 and get through it quicker, but I'm just kind of refusing to waste a credit on it because it's on BookBeat, which is frustrating because again, I could get through sorting this entire room out today and get that video filmed so that it's done and dusted while listening to this, but I'm kind of on, like I say, I'm on pause mode waiting for Derek to turn up. So we'll have to see how that goes. But a couple of things that have already been mentioned, ADHD, actually, autism and ADHD diagnosis is mentioned in here. It is mentioned at the beginning. So although Henry doesn't have an official diagnosis, he is representing kind of ADHD, and I'm enjoying that representation so far. I don't know if Hallie has a little ADHD in her as well, I'm not sure. But there are a couple of things that were mentioned that I made a note of. So to start off, we have Hallie pretty early on. She is like the oldest sibling in a family with quite a few kids in it. She's not the oldest sibling, she's the oldest daughter. She's got an older brother, but a lot of responsibility goes on her shoulders to look after her younger siblings, and she's absolutely sick of it. And she was going on about that, and she says, talking about how she always puts everyone else's needs above her own, and everyone just assumes she'll help without asking. For as long as I can remember, all I've heard is, oh, Hallie won't mind helping, and not once, Hallie, do you mind? Or, Hallie, do you have time? I don't remember opting in and I'm tired. I'd love to say my issues with people pleasing are limited to the people I love, but I know they're not. I feel like every single person who has ever come into contact with my life has somehow wriggled their way above me on my list of priorities, and look where it's gotten me. I'm tired of being a passenger in my own life. And that really sucker punched me. I am the oldest daughter. I'm the oldest child, actually. My brother is younger than me. And I do think that after saying that, actually, a lot of responsibility has been put on his shoulders as well. I will say, growing up and then over the years as well, it's always been a case, they never ask me anything. Nobody ever asks me anything. It's always just assumed that I will do it because I'm not doing anything else. And it's so frustrating, and it has gotten to a point in my life over the last couple of years, I would say, that I've actually had to pull people up on it and be like, listen, can you ask in future and not just assume, please? Because I'm actually sick of you just assuming. What if I have plans? Well, you never have plans. Okay, but what if those plans are for me to stay at home and read on my couch? That is a valid plan and a valid reason not to do something else somebody else wants me to do. So just ask in future. Don't assume. Ask me. So yeah, that was a sucker punch, and I felt that to my core. And then Henry was having a conversation with his coach. He is the hockey team's, the guy that's leading the hockey team, the captain. Oh, Jesus, words. The captain of the hockey team this season. He didn't really want to do it because he knows he can't manage that and his schoolwork and all the other shit he's got going on. So he didn't really want to do it, but he was pushed by his friends, he was pushed by the coach, etc., etc. And now he's in a situation where he left it so late to sign up for his classes for term that he's ended up in a class he doesn't really want to be in. And the teacher's way of teaching doesn't work with how he learns. And so, which is, very classic ADHD, autism, neurodivergence. It just, you've got to, if you clash with a teacher because of their teaching style and it doesn't work for your ADHD or your autism or your ADHD, it can be a real problem for going forward. So anyway, he's ended up with an F on a paper, and his coach has pulled him up on it. Obviously, he's got to keep his scoring up throughout the year in order to stay on the team. And coach has pulled him up on it, and he's trying to explain it to coach how it's not a suitable fit and how he left it too late, and now he's kind of stuck in this class. And he's going on about, be more organised, come to me sooner. He's mimicking teachers saying that to him or other people saying that to him over the years. Be more organised, come to me sooner. I don't know how to explain to someone who doesn't live inside my head that they could have physically carried me to the office or glued a laptop down in front of me and I'd have still found a way to avoid the task. Holy shit, I've actually got chills right now. I've got chills. Yes, yes, every single day. And then there was another one that I took a picture of. This one is Hallie, and she's helping her little sister out with homework. So her little sister's done the homework. I thought for a minute Hallie was doing the homework for her. Her little sister, who's 15, has done her homework and Hallie's checking it through. And she's talking about, basically Gigi, her little sister. Hallie's been invited to this party by this girl who she's just started work with. And she's, going on about the fact, well, I don't even know she's my friend. One of Gigi's eyebrows creeps up to allude to her confusion. What are you you mean you don't know she's your friend? She invited you to a party. How am I supposed to explain to a 15-year-old who once called our mailman her friend because she sees him every day, and to her, that's friendship, that making friends is not easy for every person, especially as an adult when it's difficult as hell, that there are new categories that spring up with no instructions, that it's directionless minefield that I've been failing to navigate since birth. I always have this conversation with people. It's so difficult to make friends as an adult. So difficult. And it's one thing that I actually love about working in the pub is that I've started talking to locals and people that live in the area. And now when I see them in the street, we always say hi to each other. And maybe we're not friends. Maybe we're acquaintances because I work behind the bar that they go in. But it's nice to know more people. I'm not just walking around the streets of my hometown where I've lived for the last 14 years and the only people I know are the people that live in the house attached to mine. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's nice to know other people. It's nice to see some of the regulars in the street and say hi and smile at them and ask how their day's been if they stop to have a chat. And then have a yap with them in the pub later on. Do you know what I mean? So it's really difficult as an adult to make friends if you haven't grown up in the town that you live in and if you don't have children that go to school. It's so hard to make friends as an adult. Really is. And especially as someone who works for herself. So I'm not in an office where I'm working with colleagues and I've made friends with my colleagues. I don't have that anymore. I work for myself now. So yeah, just it's really resonating with me, I will say, on the ADHD side of things, on the oldest daughter side of things for sure. I saw Emmy's review of this and it was something like when the oldest daughter and an ADHD girl who reads this book or something. It was like a 5-star review. I'll pop a picture of it on screen. And I was like, okay, yeah, no, I'm feeling this, because I wanted to have a quick look. I wasn't looking to DNF the book. I was just looking to see what the ratings were of the books, and this is the highest rated book. It's 3.9. But yeah, I think this could end up staying on the shelves. The other two, I'm quite happy if they leave, but I'll see how I'm feeling afterwards. Maybe I need to go back and give them a reread, but I really wasn't a fan of Wildfire, I will say. So anyway, I'm excited to continue on with this today. I'm just hoping that I can get back to it sooner rather than later. I need to find out what time Derek is coming around. So anyway, I'm going to carry on with my day and I will check back in with you when I have another update for you, probably when I finish this, unless I've got more to tell you about quotes in the book. But yeah, I will speak to you then. Hello, team. It is significantly later in the day on Wednesday. I haven't read as much as I had hoped of Daydream today. It's currently 5:30 and I accidentally forgot to turn the timer on at one point. I don't know how long for, but we have 12 hours and 41 minutes left on the clock, so which is fine. I don't think it was for too long, maybe a half hour, maybe 20 minutes, maybe 45 minutes. I don't think it was for an hour, but I've had my headphones on for a good chunk of the day since Derek left this morning when he'd finished what he was doing outside. And page 193 of this book, I am still enjoying it. It's slow going because I'm listening to the audiobook on BookBeat. I can only listen on 2x speed, so it is slow going, but it has kept me company for the afternoon. But because I've had my headphones on all day, my ears are killing and I don't really want to put my headphones on again this evening. So, and I will need to if I'm going to continue listening to this. Andy's back home, so he doesn't need to be listening to my audiobook. So on that basis, I think what I'm actually going to do, I'll take these off the spinner wheel, but I think I'm just going to take a couple volumes of manga down with me. I'll obviously play the timer, but it just gets me through a couple volumes of manga as well. So I've got Cat Gamer Volume 8, which is the last in this series, and then I have Cat Crazy Volume 1. I won't start that, but that does start a new series, which will keep me on the kitty side of things, which is great. This one is following our FMC, who is Rico, and she adopts a cat in the first volume that is found in a box in her work's car park, but she's very much so like, she isolates herself, she just stays at home gaming all the time. She uses her gaming knowledge to help look after this cat, and then she ends up with a second cat, and it's really cute. Very good palate cleanser. So I'm glad that a new series has continued called Cat Crazy, because this is the end of Cat Gamer, which is a shame. And then I also have A Business Proposal Volume 10, and I love this series, so excited to box this one off as well, because this is the last in this series. So this one should be interesting as well. This one follows Harry and Temu, and in the first one, Harry ends up going on this date that her best friend was supposed to go on. Her dad set it up for her. She ends up going on the date with the intention of ruining this date for her, but what she doesn't realise is that when she gets there, it's Temu who is her boss at work. Now, she's dressed herself up so that she can't be recognised, but she tries to ruin the date. However, what she doesn't know is that Temu is also sick of dating people, and he's decided whoever's on this date, he's going to marry them. So we kind of get to a point where he realises who she is, and things just kind of move on from there. So I'm going to take both of these down with me and try and read both of these this evening. I might even treat myself to maybe like a film or something, I'm not sure. I don't know what is going on down there, but they're going to struggle to park down there this evening. So yeah, I might watch some TV, catch up with some YouTube, or maybe watch a movie, I'm not sure. But I just thought I'd come on, give you a little update on my reading, let you know that I'm going to take a couple volumes of manga down and box Daydream off for today. And I will come back to it tomorrow and get it finished tomorrow. And then we will do a spin for another book, depending on how long we've got left on the spinner, on the timer. So that is my plan. Jan. So I'm going to go and do that, go downstairs and get curled up on the couch, and I will check in with you tomorrow. It is 10 to 11 on Thursday morning. Good morning. I've just nipped out to the supermarket. I needed to get some bits and bobs. Not too much. It is payday tomorrow, but we just needed some stuff for tea. And we've got absolutely nothing to drink in the house other than tap water, tea and coffee, which I don't drink tea or coffee. So I'm down to tap water and have been for about 3 days. And I've had enough. I've gone on strike and I've gone to the supermarket. So reading update. Actually, while I was at the supermarket, let me tell you about this first. I did end up picking up a copy of The Book of Blood and Roses by Annie Summerly. I've had my eye on this for a little while. I was under the impression this was coming in a subscription box, but I think I've got that wrong. So I picked a copy up of it. The supermarket, honestly, their prices are just so much better than like Waterstones, for example. And I know I always support my bookshops when I go in them, but it's £11 and this would probably be, it would, £20 in Waterstones. So while it was £11, it'd be silly for me not to get this. This is a vampire and vampire hunter story, and it is queer, I believe. And also underneath the dust jacket as well. Excuse me, how pretty is that? Stunning. Oh, there's shit on the back and all. Hang on. Beautiful. So yeah, I'm excited about reading this one. So pretty. I love a something and something hunter story. It doesn't matter what it is. Vampire and vampire hunter, werewolf and werewolf hunter, witch and witch hunter. It doesn't matter. I love it. It's one of my favourite things. So yeah, very excited about that. I did pick that up while I was in the supermercado. I was looking, I've been doing Spanish. I was looking for Heated Rivalry and the first one, Game Changers, but they didn't have either of them in. It's fine. I already have my special edition of Heated Rivalry. Don't really need another copy, but if I'm going to have the rest of the series in paperback, I should probably get the paperback copy of Heated Rivalry as well. Anyway, last night I did decide to do a couple of manga, and I did the 2 that I told you I was going to. So the time left on this bad boy is 11 hours and 33 minutes for today and tomorrow. That's significantly more than I thought it was going to be for the last couple of days of this vlog. I actually thought we would end up finishing this video today, but no, apparently not. So I did read, first of all, A Business Proposal, Volume 10. I gave this one 4.5 stars. It was good. I loved this series so much, and I really do hope they continue on with the TV show, because I loved the TV show as well. It's so much fun. I do feel like we came back to it with Temu and Harry in the end at this, but to begin with, and like with the volume before, Volume 9, we were kind of not following Temu and Harry as much. So I kind of missed that, because that's who we were starting to follow, you know. You do end up kind of following a couple of other couples as well. But I really enjoyed this series. I loved it so much. So 4.5 stars for this one. And then I did read Cat and Gamer Volume 8, which again, I gave 4.5 stars to. It's so much fun. It's going to be sad to say bye to these characters, to the cats and to our FMC in here, but I'm so excited that I've got Cat and Crazy to move on to next, which is by the same author, so an illustrator. So that's fun to know that there's something else that I can move on to, because these are great palette cleansers as well. So I only have the first volume of that one. Volume 2 is out, but volume 3 comes out in April, so that's exciting. So yeah, I have wrapped up another 2 series there, which is fantastic news. So that's 4 series down if you include Sweet Heat as well, because I've DNF'd that one. And so I need to go back to Daydream. I will say I am enjoying this and I am relating to the characters somewhat. And I don't know if it's because the audiobook is just on 2 times speed, but at this point I'm not using a credit to buy the audiobook so I can speed it up to 2.5 times speed. But I feel like it's dragging. And I don't think there's any need for it to be going on this long. I do feel like it's dragging somewhat. So I don't particularly want to go back to this one. I don't think, now that I'm thinking on it, I don't think there's a situation where I would actually keep these. In all honesty, I would just unhaul them. So I don't know what to do. I've got sprints starting with my patrons at 12. I should have started them at 11 or 12:30. I might change that actually to like 11:15, just bring them forward a little bit. Because otherwise I'm just going to sit here and faff. Actually, I could do some editing. I might do that instead. I'm undecided on what to do with this one, so I'm going to come back to you and let you know a little bit later on when I've had a chat with my patrons, because I am liking it. I'm not loving it. It's fine, but I think if I was to DNF it at this point, I wouldn't lose any sleep over it. I don't think I would gain anything by continuing on with it either, if that makes any sense. So part of me is just a bit like, again, I don't know if it would necessarily get anything more than like a 3.5 star. I related in the beginning, like a super duper related to some of the things that Henry and Hallie were saying, but yesterday, obviously, I listened to a lot of it while organising this room, and I don't know if like I was zoning out a little bit. I'm not sure. I know where we're up to. I know what's going on, but maybe I was zoning out on some of the more deeper things, or maybe it's because we're at a point now where these two kind of understand each other a little bit more. We're not maybe going into the intricacies of ADHD and, you know, all of that stuff. So I don't know. I'm just not feeling it. So I might DNF it. We'll see. But I will let you know. I'll come back and let you know. Obviously, if I'm DNFing, I'll need to do the spinner again and pick something else. So I will chat with you in a little bit. Okay. It's been like, I don't know. I do know, an hour and 43 minutes. It's been about an hour and 50 minutes, I think, since I last spoke to you. I've been editing this vlog up until this point. I'm not quite done yet, but I want to try and get to a point where I'm edited up until this point so that I don't have too much to do over the weekend so I can get this up on Sunday. But I have made the decision, after talking to my patrons, to DNF this one. It's really sad because I just edited the clip where like I've started this and I'm really enjoying it, and I've gone on about some quotes to you guys that are inside of this, like at the beginning, about ADHD, but also about being the eldest daughter, and it really resonated with me to begin with. And I think had I finished this yesterday, I would have actually really enjoyed it, but it's going on too long for me now, and I can't bring myself to finish off like another 3.5 to 4 hours of this book. I just can't do it. I'm not interested. I don't care. So I'm really sad about that, because I'm always on the lookout for more ADHD books, like ADHD representation. But for this one, I just don't, it's taking too long and I can't be bothered. I haven't got it in me. So I'm actually going to DNF this one, which is really sad. Not quite 50% of the way through, but a decent chunk in. And I can't, if I was over 50%, even if I was just like 55% in, I might put myself through it, but I can't be bothered. And then I've also made the decision to take The Only Light Left Burning by Eric J. Brown off of my TBR as well. This was in the stacks and it was on the spinner. So I'm taking this off my TBR. I don't care to pick it up. The thought of picking it up is filling me with dread. So I'm making the decision in advance before it comes up on the spinner. So this series is going to be unhauled as well. So at the end, I'll give a rundown of the stats, like before we started, how many series was I looking at, and then how many series have I actually managed to complete, whether that be via DNFing or actually finishing the series. and then what I'm planning on unhauling as well, which will obviously then, the unhaul portion will be mentioned again in the actual ins and outs for January. So going to give this a little shuffle before I start the recording portion. I have taken a business proposal and also Cat Gamer off, so they're not on here anymore. The only manga left now is A Silent Voice, which would be reading, you know, like 5 volumes of that to get it finished so I can unhaul that series as well. There are a couple of middle grades in that stack that I don't want to read, so again, I should probably just take them off and box them up and be done with it. I would love it if my Blade Your Back came up, or even More Days at the Morisaki Bookshop, something short would come up, so that's kind of what I'm looking for now. Let's screen record and see what we get. Okay, let's go. I'm really nervous. Oh dear. Okay, it's come up. I can see it in the corner of my eye, but I don't know what it is. Let's have a look. No. 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 Remove. Reset. We're going to do another spin. I'm not doing that. No way. It would be short enough and quick enough to get through, but I'm not doing it. I'm not in the mood for that. Not a chance. Okay, what do we get? Nothing Like the Movies. Okay, I don't think I'm in the mood for that, but I don't want to take it off my shelves. I need to look into how long the audiobook is for that. Let me look into it. I'll come back to you.
A little longer than a few minutes later.
All right, I'm back, and I'm actually Hank Marvin. After a conversation with my patrons, we've decided to switch the spinner wheel up because I feel like I'm in the mood to pick my own books again, which is great. The whole point in this spinner was that the picking of the books was taken out of my hands. It was just a case of all the final books, almost all of the final books on my TBR, and then the spinner wheel was making the decision for me. I do want to read Nothing Like the Movies, but I don't want to read it right now. So that can go back on my shelves. I don't want to unhaul the series yet. But it can go back on my shelves for the time being. So what I've actually decided to do is mix this spinner wheel up. And one of the suggestions, because I keep forgetting there's a bingo board for Final Book Support Group, I'll show it on screen. So I've just gone through, made a note of everything that I've already completed, including prompts that I've completed with DNFs. So anything else that's left, one of my patrons, Meg, suggested that I put them on a spinner wheel, and we do it this way around instead. So the prompt is being chosen and I just get to pick a book to fulfill that prompt. And I think that sounds really fun. So I've put the prompts on twice because there isn't enough for it to be a fullish spinner wheel like I like. We've got Continuation Station, which is continue a series, 2026 TBR, TBR Vet, a poll pick, read something for fun, and a special edition. So we're going to spin on this instead, and I'm going to pick my book based on that. I get free reign a little bit now, so I might be able to do a continuation station instead, or, you know, pick something else just cause. I may even pick from the stack. We'll see what happens, because I do still want to read my Blade Your Back, and I wouldn't be mad at reading The Flesh King because it's short, and More Days at the Morisaki Bookshop again because it's short. So it could still pick from the stack if it fits with the prompt. So let's spin, shall we? I'm a bit nervous now. A bit anxious. Oh dear. Okay, something's come up. What is it? Oh, a special edition. Okay, I don't know whether to remove this or not. No, I'll leave it on for the time being. Okay, special edition works because I think what I'm going to do is pick from the stack anyway and go for my Blade Your Back. This is a special edition. It's got sprayed edges. I don't know if it comes actually as standard or not with the sprayed edges, or whether it is a special edition, but for me, if it's got sprayed edges, it's a special edition book. So this is the second one in this series, which is the Dark Forces series. The first one was Your Knife, My Heart, and how stunning. I just love Kaya Morinova's books because she does all the illustrations herself as well. And we are following Emery and also Cameron. Now, in the first book, I'm not going to read the synopsis of this one because it's the second one in the series, and it follows directly on from the first one. In the first book, Cameron is in the Special Forces, the Dark Forces team, which is basically like a very, very, very undercover team. I don't even think the US know about the team properly, and they go in and do missions that nobody else will do. They're all generally very brutal missions. Now, Cameron has this problem where he can't stop killing his partners. So he ends up being given this partner, who is Emery, but he also gets forced through these trials, which they tend to put people that are trying to get through into the dark forces on. So first of all, they're testing Emery with these trials. She's got a death sentence. She's being sent down for shit that her family forced her to do. They're a very dark, like mob family, if you like, and she's being sent down, and she's got a death sentence hanging over her head. So she is basically dragged into this kind of like trial, if you like, to see if she can get through and make it through to the military. What she doesn't know at the time, and neither does Cameron, is that they're kind of being pitted together to see if Cameron can get away with not killing his new partner, Emery, and to see if she can make it through the trials. And so they're forced through these trials together. Obviously, it's not a great place to be as a woman, and Cameron is now having his entire being and self-worth tested to see if he can A, not kill his own partner, and B, not kill others within the trial, because you're not able to kill people within these trials either. You can harm them, but don't kill them. So we're at a point now where things took a turn at the end of this book, and now we need to continue on and find out what happens next. I can't tell you anything about what's going to happen in here because it follows on directly from the first book, so the events just follow completely on, and it would be spoilers for me to tell you anything that happens in this book. So that's where I'm at, and I really enjoyed the first one. I think I gave it 4 stars. This is set in the same universe as Leave Me Behind is, which I gave 5 stars. Absolutely loved that one. This one has potential to be 5 stars. It's because the book just the story carried on in this book. So yeah, we didn't get a complete story in the first book, so it got 4 stars from me, but I really was enjoying where it was going. So I'm intrigued to get back to this one. Special edition. We have my Blade Joe back. I'm very excited. I'm going to go and make some pizza. I'm absolutely Hank Marvin, and then I'm going to continue editing this, and then once that's finished, I can get to my Blade Joe back. And I'm excited, so let's get on with the day. Okay, howdy doody. It is 10 to 11 on Friday morning, and I'm going to be going out soon. I'm going to my brother's. I'm going to go and see my brother, my sister-in-law, and Luca. Thomas is at school, but I'm going to go and see them for a little bit, and I need to get my nana a gift for seeing her. It's her birthday on Monday, and I'm seeing her tomorrow, so I need to pick that up as well. I completely forgot that that's the thing I need to do. We have 6 hours and 27 minutes left on the clock for today, which is significantly more than I would have liked, I will say. So I'm going to have to lock in this evening when I get back from seeing my brother this afternoon, and then all through the evening I'm really going to have to lock in. But I have finished my Blade Your Back by K.M. Moronova, which wraps up this duet. It's another series boxed off, which I'm really happy about. And I gave this one 3.5 stars. I didn't enjoy this one as much as the first one, and I'm kind of gutted about that, I've got to be honest. The first one really set us up perfectly, and I thought that this one could actually be a 5-star on that basis. However, I just feel like there were too many plots going on. There was a lot of things happening in here. We had, without trying to do too many spoilers, we had Emery's amnesia in here. Then we had the pills that both Em and Cam were taking, and everything that was going on with that behind the scenes. We had Em's dad involved in this one, and there was a couple of different plots going on with that. I felt like a pinball, in a pinball machine where you're bouncing off the walls, off the sides, and off the little clicky thing where the person's clicking and it's flicking about, and I just felt like I was bouncing from one thing to another to another to another, and from chapter to chapter I kind of lost what was going on sometimes, even though I was following along with the book for the most part of this. I actually just did the audiobook for like the last couple of hours just to try and get through it and keep my mind occupied, because I was finding that it felt like a slog if I was just sat following along with the book. Time didn't seem to be moving. That could be a me problem rather than the book. But in general, I liked the writing. I just felt like the plots, although it wrapped up nicely and everything was wrapped up, I don't feel like there's any unanswered questions specifically. It did wrap up nicely and it came together in the end. I just feel like to get to that point we were bouncing all over the place and none of these plots were fully explored. I feel like this book could have been maybe... It's really bizarre to say this because at the same time I feel like it could have been a lot shorter, maybe less plots going on, but I feel like this book could have been like another couple of 100 pages bigger, maybe even a trilogy, and we could have explored things a little bit more. I feel like a lot of the plots weren't explored enough and they were rushed through. There was a lot happening and I just couldn't keep up properly. I just felt like there was too many things happening. Maybe if I was in a better headspace, this might have gone down a little bit better, but I don't know. Regardless, I will pick up more books from Kay Morinova in the future. This is my third book from her in the last 6 months or so. I gave Leave Me Behind 5 stars. I gave the first one in this series, which is called Your Knife, My Heart. Yeah, Your Knife, My Heart, 4 stars, and this one has got 3.5 stars. I do have My Demon something or other on my shelves. I've forgotten what the name of it is, but I have another one of hers on my shelves, and I'm very excited for Bulletproof coming out this year. So I'm still keen for her books, and I do enjoy the military romances. I think they're really good. Leave Me Behind was so good, but I just don't know if anything's going to top that, in all honesty. But yeah, this didn't 100% work for me, unfortunately. I didn't hate it, but I didn't love it either. It is what it is, but I've wrapped the series up now. I can actually take that bookmark out. I've wrapped the series up now, which is great, so that's another book down, and we're actually going to do a spinner. I've got a book in mind that I want to pick up, and it only works for 2 of the prompts, so I'm kind of hoping that one of those prompts comes up. So, I'm screen recording. Let's do the spin. I'm nervous, because I really want to pick this book up. Yes! Okay, continuation station. That couldn't have gone better. Let me get the book. It was already on my spinner cart to pick up soon. I really want to get on with wrapping the series up, and I've got 3 books left in the series because I have an arc of her new release coming out in March, but it follows a character from this series, so I want to get this series wrapped up. I feel weird about going into that book without having wrapped this series up, so I kind of want to make some moves on it. So this is book 4 in a 6-book series from Catherine Cowles, and it is Beautiful Exile, and it is, like I say, the 4th book in Sparrow Falls series. This is a series of interconnected standalones, if you like, but I would recommend reading them in order. And they are slightly romantic suspense. They are romance. They have a slight suspense element to it. It's not too heavy, but slight. Think like Indigo Ridge, for example, I would say. So this one says, a swoony small town romance that will set your heart racing. I've been running from the past for most of my life, hiding in a small town and hoping no one discovers who I truly am, which was working just fine until my brother moved his best friend onto our property. Now I'm stuck trying to avoid the brooding billionaire's probing questions and piercing stares, and it doesn't help that I almost killed him the first time we met. Oops. But I can't ignore him forever, and when all my lies come crashing down, it's Link who steps in to shield me. Only it's not just my safety at risk, it's my heart, because when Link touches me, I lose all sense. We might be building a life together, but Link and I both have secrets, and it's only a matter of time until the forces from our past come back to tear everything apart forever. Interesting. I'm really enjoying Catherine Cowles' books so far. I think I've given them all pretty decent ratings. I've read 3 from her so far, but I'm very aware she's got a long list of books. So we are following Arden, who is the FMC in this book, and we are following Lincoln as well. So that'll be exciting. I'm excited about this one. I think the audiobook for this is about 11.5 hours long. So I should get this finished, and there should be some time left on the timer challenge. I don't know what I'm going to do with that time. I may continue on with a manga series. I will just see how much is left, how much time is actually left, and then make a decision on what to do with that. I either pick up another book that I would like to finish that I'm already partway through, because there are multiple books that I'm partway through, and I try and make some progress in one of those, or I pick up a manga and just continue another continuation station. So yeah, for continuation station, we're going to be reading book 4 in Sparrow Falls series, and hopefully continuing on with this. I may even pick up the next one after this one and make a start on that at least. I don't know. We'll see. So I'm going to go because I need to make a move and get to my brother's, and I will check in with you when I've started this, or when I'm 100 pages in, let you know how it's going. I'm excited to give it a read, so I will speak to you in a little bit.
3 days later.
Okay, hello. It looks like I'm never out of this sweater. I am, I promise. It's been washed since I got it, I swear. That just smells really nice. But I was in it on Thursday when I last updated you. I don't know if there's another update on this camera that I haven't yet put in the computer. But as far as editing's concerned, the last update was Thursday and I was in this sweater then. I promise I wear other stuff. It's just comfort for me. Today is Sunday. I'm wrapping this vlog up here because it's going up this evening. And I had a long shift at the pub last night. It was like the length of the shift was 7 hours, but it was a long shift because it wasn't particularly busy. So I woke up this morning feeling like death. Not to be, over exaggerate, but yeah, feeling a little bit like death. And I just wanted comfort today. So I've got leggings on, this, and fluffy socks. That is it. That is all. So it is currently 2:10 and I need to get this video edited, exported, which is going to take a long time because it's a long video, and then uploaded in order for y'all to be able to watch it at 5:30. So, I haven't got much time left. Luckily, I've edited it up to this point. So I haven't got too much left to edit. I will be very honest and say to you that I still have an hour and a half left on this timer. So, however, quick reminder that on one of the days this week, I can't remember what day it was, I was rearranging my library and I forgot to turn the timer on for a portion of time. Now, I said to you that could have been for half an hour, could have been for 45 minutes, I'm not sure. So we're going to just allow for that in here, and I'm not going to be able to finish anything else now. It would have been a case of just starting something new or continuing on with something else. I was going to pick up Saving 6, but I decided to go out this morning, see family instead, get a bit of fresh air, which I'm glad I did because my head has cleared somewhat, which is great because I had a cracking headache this morning. And instead I decided to go out, see family, and not use the rest of that time. So overall, the timer has in theory been used. There's just no way that I won't get the vlog up this evening if I sit now for an hour and a half and read something. So we're just going to leave that. It is what it is. However, as far as like stats are concerned for this final book support group, I think I've done pretty damn well, I will say. So let's run through exactly what it is that I have managed to complete. Before we get to the books that I did read in the series that I did complete, I did decide during this vlog, I don't know if I actively said anything or not, but during this vlog, after I put them on the spinner wheel, I made the decision, Rainbow Grey series, I'm just going to box off. I'm not going to finish this series. I'm just going to have it down as, a DNF'd series, which is fine. It gets it off my series currently reading. So I've essentially DNF'd this series. I've no doubt at some point in the future, I will end up reading this with Thomas anyway, which is fine by me. It's going in a box underneath my bed, in a collection for him to have when he's of age to be able to read something of this length. Same thing with Dragon Riders of Raw, which is book 4 in this series. I thought it was just a trilogy. Then book 4 came out and it looks like a book 5 is coming out as well because there was a gap between book 3 and 4. So I haven't read this one. That can also go in the box under the bed. So I've DNF'd that series as well. And then I've also DNF'd this series as well by Eric J. Brown. I just don't really care to go back to it in all honesty at this point. And I made this decision during this vlog as well. So that's 3 series DNF'd and off my shelves in a capacity of unhauling and under my bed for the kids, which is great news. So that's 3 series down. Then I did read Wildcard, which I gave 5 stars, my official first 5-star of 2026, because my actual first 5-star was a reread. And I finished this series off, the Rose Hill series off, so I'm very excited about that. So first 5-star of the year, and I finished another series. So that's series 4 of the vlog. Then I did finish a business proposal series by reading volume 10, and I gave this one 4.5 stars. So that is my 5th series completed. Cat and Gamer volume 8 wrapped this series up for me. I gave this one 4.5 stars. This is series 6 completed for the video. Then I did DNF Daydream by Hannah Grace, and this wraps that series up, and I will be unhauling these books. So that is series 7 completed for the vlog. Really smashing these series out. I'm so happy with myself. Is that correct? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah. Then I read My Blade, Your Back by K.M. Moranova, which I did give 3.5 stars. I liked it, but it wrapped the series up. So that is series 8 completed. I also actually, quick reminder, that I also did DNF Sweet Heat by Bolu Babalola, and that completes that series as well. So that is series 9 completed. Not necessarily off my shelves per se, but it's a series I was in the middle of, so still counts. And then I did do a continuation station with Beautiful Exile by Catherine Cowles. This is book 4 in a 6-book series. So I'm making progress with that. It's not my 10th series of the vlog completed, but I've made progress in the series. And my thoughts on this one, I really enjoyed this. This was very good. I ended up giving it 4.5 stars. I think that the romance went at quite a faster pace in this one. I mean, they started off as friends, which is for the most part how these go. But in this one, maybe it's just because I read it all in one day. I did feel like it went at a much faster pace than usual, but maybe that's on me because I read it all in one day and it went by quite quick. I really enjoyed it though. I thought the suspense element was really, really good and I was having a very good time with it. I really enjoyed the romance and I just love being with this family as well. So yeah, had a very good time. I don't anticipate it being too long before I pick up books 5 and 6 to wrap the series up so that I can get on to Across the Vanishing Sky and read Dex's story. I'm very excited for his story. So 4.5 stars for this one. That was 10 series that I, in some capacity, made some damage on. Whether I unhauled the books and made the decision that I'm not going to read them and DNF the series, whether I tried the books and DNF'd, Daydream and Sweet Heat, or whether I actually completed the series, of which 1, 2, 3, 4 were completed by me reading a book, and then I made progress in a 5th. So amazing. 10 series that I've made some progress in one way or another, and I'm really happy with that. Actually so happy. I had no idea what the bingo board looks like for me. To be fair, I do the bingo boards for everybody else. I very rarely actually look through the bingo board and see how well I did overall at the end, but I'm really happy with my progress in this readathon and exactly what it is that I've managed to complete, and I think it went really well. I think the combination of the timer, I know I've still got in theory an hour and a half left. I don't actually know what that time would look like if I'd not forgotten to turn the timer on that day. I was so in what I was doing, and then I suddenly looked down and saw the iPad and was like, shit, is my timer going? And I don't know how long that time period was, so I've no idea. It could have been 20 minutes, it could have been a half hour, it could have been 45 minutes, it could have been an hour and 20 minutes. I don't know. I was just so in the zone of what I was doing. So I'm not mad about still having an hour and a half on the clock. Do you know what I mean? I've just not got the time to fit that in, which is fine. So, I think the timer really helped me out with this. It helped keep me focused and keep me wanting to come back to my books as well. And the books I ended up picking up actually turned out to be great books, or not great books, and I was just DNFing them, which is fine. I'm just really happy with how it went. The spinner wheel worked in really well, and then when things started to pick up pace and I felt like I was getting back in the groove with my reading again, I just switched up the spinner wheel, and instead of the books being on it, the prompts were on it instead, and that worked out really well for me. So really happy with how this went. Chat to me in the comments down below. Did you take part in Final Book Support Group? How did yours go? I'm really happy with the progress that I've made this week. I think it went very well, and I think the quality of books that I'm picking up is getting a little bit better now, which is great. So I'm happy. My mood seems to be perking up a little bit more. It's really weird because my plate seems to be getting bigger with everything else going on outside of work, but my mood seems to be perking up, which is fantastic. Don't know how that's happening because I'm not getting any bloody sleep at the moment, but alas, it is what it is. So yeah, chat to me in the comments down below. I'm not sure when the next Final Book Support Group will be. It'll probably be a couple months now. I would typically do one in April, but I usually do 31 books in 31 days, and I just don't know how conducive that will be to Final Book Support Group. So I'm not sure if that will work or not. Maybe what I do is do a crossover like towards the end of April into May. I'm not sure. We'll see. I don't think I can fit one in March. I don't think I'll have the brain capacity because I'm doing Literature Readathon in February. If you don't know what that is, I will leave a link to the announcement in the description box down below. And I'm also taking part in Polathon, which is Jade's Readathon in February as well. Again, I'll leave a link to it in the description box down below if you haven't seen the announcement video. Please do go and check it out, especially Polathon. It is to help support the polar bears, and there is like a charitable, you don't have to, but there is a charitable side to it if you wanted to. So please do go and check that one out for sure. But also literature if you're interested in reading romance books in February for a week. And yeah, I'm not sure when the next one will be, but there will be another one. Don't panic. Obviously, my year is looking very different this year, so I'm trying to squeeze in what I can where I can. And I hope that you guys understand, and I appreciate it if you do. So yeah, chat to me in the comments down below. Also, a little apology for not being able to do sprints on the final day. I was feeling so terrible this morning, so I just haven't got the capacity for it today. I do apologise for that. Thank you to Claire for doing sprints and for covering me while I can't. I think she was thinking of doing some anyway, but she wasn't going to do them if I was going to do Final Book Support Group sprints. So I said to her, I don't think I've got the brain capacity for it today, but would you mind if I mentioned it to Final Book Support Group? And she was like, not at all, like, send them my way. And I was like, thank you so much. So thanks to Claire for covering that. I really appreciate you like you wouldn't believe. Thank you so much. So let me know in the comments down below if you took part. If you didn't take part, let me know what you've read so far this year that you've absolutely loved. I'm interested. Let me know. And I will see you in whatever comes next. Bye for now.